So next we're talking about adenosine triphosphate or ATP molecule. So it is energy carrying molecule or energy storing molecule in the cell of all living organisms. And ATP consists of the 3 phosphate groups. So in here 1 phosphate group, second phosphate group, and in here phosphorus, and third phosphate group, phosphorus. And ATP also made up of the ribose and adenine. So ATP stores a chemical energy, and it releases chemical energy during chemical reactions called hydrolysis, what we already talked about, breakdown reaction. Function of the ATP is to provide this energy for various cellular activities. Energy in the ATP molecule stored and located inside of the bond between phosphate groups. So in here again show this is the ATP molecule in here. ATP molecule. We have adenine, ribose, we have 3 phosphate group, but this is connections in here, gray connection, and in here gray connection between these 3 phosphorus groups. This is where is energy located in the ATP molecule. But if we put it in the water, yes, it will be reaction hydrolysis. So we're adding water to this ATP molecule. What will happen? We will have again adenine the same, ribose the same, but now we have only 2 phosphates group. Yes, and this is connection between these groups. So this molecule is called adenine diphosphate or diphosphate. So D means 2 phosphates only grouplet. Adenine triphosphate, it means 3 phosphate groups in the original. Adenine diphosphate, 2 phosphate groups. So with hydrolysis, water will break down. This is connection between water will break down this connection between third phosphorus group, and energy will be released because of this, and cell will use this energy for different purposes. In opposite reaction, which called oxidation, so it's a synthesis reaction, opposite from the ADP, cells will be able to produce and synthesize ATP. So they will be attaching phosphorus in here. So by now you need to know what is the ATP, what is the function, and name functional structure of the ATP, or where is the energy located inside of the ATP. Okay, now we're done with biological molecules, and we will start to talk about different types of the solutions. So we will talk about acids, bases, and salts. So what is the acids? Acids are proton donors, how they call it. And if we mix acid with water, so acids will be dissociated into the hydrogen ions. Bases in the water, if we mix, they will dissociate into the hydroxyl ions, hydroxide ions. The other name for the bases are proton acceptors. So proton, yes, this is the other name for the hydrogen ions is proton. And bases they call proton acceptors because they can accept proton. Proton is a positive, and bases have hydroxide ions, and they negative. They can accept, they attract protons. So what is a salt? Salt dissociate in the water in any other anion and cations. For example, it could dissociate on the anion or chloride. It's a negative charge. This is why it's called anion. Anions is negative. Or on different cations, for example, sodium, and it's called cation because it have positive charge. So salts dissociate on the other anions and cations, but not on the hydrogen ions and not on the hydroxide ions. And in here we can see, so in here, if we put hydrochloric acids in here, chemical formula, inside of the water, what happening? Water will pull them apart and we will produce chloride ion separate, but most important, we're producing in here hydrogen ions or protons. This is why it's considered acid. If we put sodium hydroxide in here, sodium hydroxide, inside of the water, what happening? It will be again dissociated and cation will be sodium, but for us important that anion will be hydroxide anion ions, hydroxide ions. So this is why it's a base. And sodium chloride, so this is again example of the salt, and in water it will be dissociated on the sodium and chloride, but it is not hydrogen ions, it's not hydroxide ions, so it means it's a salt. So now you will be able to answer on this question, what is the chemical difference between acids and bases.